concealment, not cover, concealment in this game is S tier value. And in the same way that the Rose skin provides you an advantage, or provided you an advantage in Warzone 1, I think that in the same way, a skin in this game could also provide you an advantage. Let me give you an example. So if you have a skeleton skin that they don't know if it's a player or not, they have to make a second level of a decision. Is this a real skeleton or is this a fake skeleton? So I think that Dark and Darker should be extremely careful about this. And I actually think that a better, like, this is just me being an armchair developer. I don't know, what the fuck do I know? But I really think what they should do is they should have personal player housing, and you can put up the different weapons and cool things that you've obtained inside of those houses, and other players can visit them, and you know, to look cool, etc. I think also weapon skins, because it's always better for a skin to be like basically a disadvantage versus an advantage. Peeps. So like, for example, if you had like a really shiny sword, I don't really see a universe where a shiny weapon would have any value in the game, and I think it would actually have a negative value in the game. So it's a weird thing where unless something has a tangible negative value, people can always make an argument that it could have a positive value in certain situations. And whenever Dark and Darker is a winner-take-all loot extraction game, seeing that you have, you know, losing to something that you feel like could have been an
on Facebook, man, you want to help me out, you can hit that share button.
It's gonna fuck with people's heads, and it's gonna
What's
create
this game?
a lot
It's
of toxic
Fortnite.
discourse.
Fortnite.
So I am really concerned about this. I hope they take players' feedback into consideration. Things like, you know, let's take a look at this. Things like this blue torch, I can't see a problem with this at all. I think this is completely fine. Same with different, you know, emotes and things like that. But in terms of player skins, I can see this being an issue. Not only in terms of, you know, obviously like people like having false positives, false negatives, but also, you know, things being harder to see and hitboxes being different. So let's talk a little bit about this. I'll read some comments and we'll get into it. And also, I think Dark and Darker has burned a lot of their goodwill. And the reason why is that there was that whole situation that happened with the lawsuit, and then the guy came out and he was trying to like raise money and do a GoFundMe. They released it on like a torrent, and I talked to Chance about it, Soda, and he said that like it was laggy and problematic. So it's like you have to go through all this extra work to download a torrent, right? You got to keep in mind, some kids nowadays did not grow up with LimeWire, didn't grow up with Pirate Bay, they don't know how to download a fucking torrent, right? They think a torrent is like effectively just like a dark web virus or something like that. And so this happens as well. And so you have like a, you know, a comparatively worse product that you have to work harder to get. And you also have
alright, dude, get a little warm up in and I'll play a couple games.
And there's like a lawsuit that is ambiguous. A lot of people are going to be at least very concerned about buying any sort of cosmetic in this game whenever the game could just go up in smoke at any moment. My opinion on this, I worry about in-game currency when the lawsuit is still ongoing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and all your stuff could just get deleted. It could be, yeah, you're right. But just keep in mind, guys, please keep in mind, all of the money that you spend on a video game is already deleted. You've already wasted your money.
What a big brain.
You're never getting it back. There's been a lot of conversations about this, but let's read some of the comments here. Let's see here. If it's not on Steam, then I'll wait. I think also people are waiting for it to be on Steam, because Steam is kind of like that, I don't know, what's the word for it? Stamp of approval. It's legit. It's a real one. It's not some bullshit. It's not something like it's a scam, etc. Like, it's the real deal. So, you know, the fact that they can't get on Steam, that makes things really weird. So let's go look at this and provisions. Well, I don't really like. Let's wait until that happens. I think that also keep in mind I used League of Legends as an example beforehand. The truth is League of Legends is also a free game. Dark and Darker is $35. So if you want to buy the game, you know, you're not going to have all of the content from the game just by buying it right off the rip. But if you spend more money, then you can get extra characters. So that's not really super great. And I think that whenever they, and this is the problem, right? And I don't want to open up a can of worms here, but do you remember what I said about how Elon Musk made a mistake by saying he was a huge absolutist? Because nobody actually is. There's always going to be exceptions and stuff like that. Well, this is kind of the same thing, is that whenever you say that you're against microtransactions, even though, like, there's obviously, like, a massive difference between, like, pay-to-win loot box mechanics versus like a cosmetic in a video game, or like unlocking something that is a one-time unlock, like PoE, stash tag, but in the mind of an audience, right? Because you're selling to the public, right? So even though the public is stupid, you still have to deal with them, right? So I think that they did make a mistake in communication by, you know, putting themselves out like, oh, we're out to stop the big guys. We're not about microtransactions, etc. Because they attract an audience of people who are going to be just like categorically against any microtransaction. And especially now with Baldur's Gate that just came out, and it didn't need any microtransactions. How the fuck does something that's using Unreal Store assets need microtransactions, right? It's an obvious question to ask, and I think it's reasonable for people to feel that way. But the truth is
Trippy with a share, my man.
These things probably don't seem to affect gameplay.
Just listen to a podcast by one of my, well,
I'm not out
one of my favorite YouTubers. He's talking about Dark and Darker and how Dark and Darker got re-released. So I don't know if you guys are following Dark and Darker, but Dark and Darker is kind of like a Tarkov but medieval. You like dungeon crawling, and there's like a big lawsuit with them and like some
it's a risk to buy.
Like,
it is a risk to buy.
developing company, and
apparently they don't have regional pricing. I was looking at some of their subreddit posts, and that is also a bit problematic for a lot of people. So yeah, Mining Canary? I don't think it's Mining Canary. I think the Mining Canary was the GoFundMe. And I think that was just that the company is, I think that Iron Mace seems to be mismanaged. That's, and at least it was then. It might be totally different now, but back then it seemed completely mismanaged. Regardless of like, if it's gonna fix that, is this going to affect players? It seems that way. So yeah, this game stinks. I find it weird that out of nowhere they announce it's live while the lawsuit is still going on. I think that the people that work at Iron Mace are impulsive people, because nothing, like, you never know what they're gonna do. It freaks me out all the time. It's not at all. So yeah, if you check out the lawsuit, there's some really retarded stuff well, I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea. But I'm just saying that it seems like it's mismanaged. So yeah, let's see here. Feels like we should have sailed on this one. It was fun as free to play, but $35 unfamiliar website.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like that, bro. I mean, I get the companies going under like legal battles, but like making your game that was a free basically type thing, dude, and now you're making it, you're adding in-game purchases in there, and you know you're gonna make it take way longer than you could get, because all the items used to be
I might be misremembering, but yeah,
basically pay to obtain, which that didn't change at all in the game, but if it's not, if it's not free anymore, like, nah, they had the hype, but if their business practice was based off like bad principle, then they deserve what they get, bro. Like, they shouldn't have done anything that was weird, and you wouldn't be in a situation that you're in a legal battle with another company.
Lawsuit against them. I think that is exactly what's happening, by the way. That is exactly what's happening. Let's see here. Of course they're going to try to make, not milking, right? But they're trying to make money from the lawsuit. Sorry, I don't want to, you know, say that they're bad actors. I'm not sure. It's shady as hell. No announcement. Trial didn't even happen. Feels like a rug pull situation.
It probably is a rug pull, man. Like,
you know, unlike crypto,
not gonna lie.
You only lose like what, $50 on this one? They had zero hype to the release. They just sprung it. Well, yeah, they did, and I think that that's what I was saying before about Iron Mace being also a developer, and I think this will. I've never ever seen a person who's impulsive have their impulsiveness be a positive force in their life? Let me just say that. I've never seen it happen. Every time somebody is like super impulsive or something like that, they will somehow fuck their life up at one point or another. And sometimes it usually happens a lot. So yeah. They did it for the fans? Yeah, but like, if you're doing it for the fans, don't you deserve to deliver the best experience possible? Don't you deserve to give people confidence, etc.? I'm not gonna, you know, again, go back and fucking talk about this. But the point is that Dark and Darker is back. It's on a weird launcher that I've never heard of before. It's now $35. There is an in-game shop with
they're trying to milk it, bro.
Apparently on the shop, as well as a skin that has an arguable advantage, very arguable.
It's not really arguable. They had it there before.
There are a lot of people who are very mixed in the way that they play. If you are in it for the long haul and you don't have a lot of money, I would not recommend buying this game right now.
And obviously, if re-releasing your game while you're in a lawsuit with the company,
$5 castle.
you just...
The lawsuit that they have against Nexon, or that Nexon has against them, is still ongoing. The trial apparently has not even started. So, they could shut this down at any time. But if you liked the game before, you respect what Iron Mace is trying to do, you enjoyed it, and you want to play it again, there you go. darkanddarker.com.
Is this one supposed to be like a... You can do it both ways, I guess. I don't know what's next.
I kept leveling. I got up to 60, 72. I was doing my own thing. I was doing what I needed to do. And I figured I'd add this screenshot in just so you could see. That was what my slash played. Kaisen.
While I'm warming up. Can I add it and make it kind of like smaller? Kaisen not, dude. Oh, bro, since it's on a vertical. That's just gonna look so weird. I wish I could just like drop. Why can I not like just, I just want to like. Oh, I don't think I can do that. Either way, I'll put it there. It's like, it's gonna be a goofy looking thing, but at least you can kind of see what I'm watching. But just give me like 1 second. I'll be right back. I'll let this run while I what's it look like when it's in full screen though? That's the question. Because if it's in full screen, oh okay, yeah, it's better.
Kasenat fan.
Big fan of Kasenat.
A terror to New York.
We're back.
Going to look at the breakdown of what could happen.
Oh, gotta get a good stretch, man.
Got a lot of guns.
All right, let's go. Let's get into those. So, Mr. Kasenat. So, according to the New York Times, he's facing charges of inciting a riot. The whole thing descended.
Should have sued him for false advertising, not consoles. Apparently, he only gave away one PS5 and he left. Yeah, no wonder they broke all those fucking cars. I'd be pissed. Imagine you show up. You show up, you're there for the PS5. It's the new Spider-Man game's gonna come out. It looks pretty good. Final Fantasy 16, Demon Souls, God of War. So yeah, you do God of War in the city instead.
Or riot. And here's the thing. When you have, first of all, let me stop saying here's the thing. I say here's the thing way too much. Everybody tells me that. But when you are popular, like this guy's making oodles of money. He's got so many followers. When you are that popular, you have an influence. You know, you have, and with that influence comes a responsibility.
Like Spider-Man.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. There's nobody here but me. You know, if I went out, you know, we are close to 1 million subscribers. Okay,
that's a lot.
4,500 away, and I'm not anywhere near as popular as this guy by any stretch. But there's people that are absolute rabid fans, and you have a responsibility. You absolutely have a responsibility. So when he hosts this giveaway, first of all, when you give away free shit, guess who comes out of the woodwork? Tons of people. Good people, bad people, whatever kind of.
If Kai did this in Austin, I would go over there. I 100% would. Like, even if I wasn't a streamer, just to be there. Yeah, because, like, that's what's happening today. It's like, oh, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a real shit show. Why? Because it'd be funny to see people, like, do all kinds of crazy shit.
People. But
yeah.
They go crazy. Have you ever seen a Walmart on
Black Friday?
Yep. Let's see. So, in addition to the riot count, he was expected to be charged with unlawful assembly and potentially other crimes. You know, and let's see, what was the original deal that he was going to do? So the cops said it was uncontrolled. It took us a while to get it under control, and a lot of young people got hurt. That was the chief of police that was saying that. Mr. Son and another streamer, Phantom, announced plans to hand out PlayStation 5 consoles at the park. Well, what do you think that's going to do in New York City?
I mean, it's a PS5. I mean, that's true. Like, here's really the truth, is that if Kai was giving out Xboxes, this riot would not have happened. There'd be like 15 people that show up.
He's got more than 3.5 million followers. The whole thing started at 3 o'clock and had gone viral. It grew rapidly and out of control. By 4 p.m., they approached the crowd, grew restless, and I mean, how are you going to get? What are you going to do with that? You know, you have this whole thing descend into mayhem. Young people walking around with shovels, axes, and other tools of the construction trade.
That's not
good.
good.
That adding others have been lighting fireworks and tossing them towards officers. Water bottles, basketballs, a computer, and the fireworks through the crowd.
A computer?
Young people push back against police officers carrying a riot shield that they try to move in to make arrests.
Oh my God!
More than 200 people standing near a flagpole in the center of the park directed a vulgar chant at the police. Oh my God! You look at these. I mean, it's more than 65 people.
ZMD.
And,
well, I saw the fucking clips. They deserved it. They absolutely deserve to get arrested. This shit where people go and fuck stuff up, destroy people's property? Nah, bro. Put them in jail. You know what you're doing is wrong. Mostly peaceful, though? Yeah, I think probably most people came there and they were fine. Like, oh, wow, saying fuck the police. Oh, my God. Like, I'm sorry, but it's free speech. I'm not, like, who gives a fuck about this?
And they're in riot gear.
That's not a big deal. That part isn't.
Police and the people in the crowd began to commit acts of violence against the police and the public. Unbelievable. You know, and so here's the thing. I almost said it again. Let's just take a look at, look at this. This is the mayhem that's ensuing. People sitting on cars. Look at this. Why would you do this? I mean, yeah, you're gonna gain.
Well, here's why. It's because it's fucking, like, as I said, man, like, I hate to tell others while they're driving, abso-fucking-lutely.
Look at this.
Ask any of my real life friends. They'll tell you the same thing. We would have gone there. Who's we?
You know,
me, Austin, Cody, Jeff, Dylan, Eric. Alec would be too much of a pussy. Jason would go. All of Cody and Jeff's friends, like Cleo and his friend Jesse. I remember Jared one time egged a cop car whenever I was driving. That was a bad day. Jared would be there. He's like a doctor now. Mikkel Reeve. Zach would probably, yeah, Zach would definitely.
Some strike here. I run a little tiny channel. Well, I don't run a channel. I get run by a channel. My son runs our deal. Yeah, we may have a party. You know, once we have a meeting, I think we're gonna have a party in Vegas. But it'll be controlled. It'll be fun. It'll be constructive and.
With police say at least 2,000 people mobbing Union Square. It's like, yikes, it's like a lot of crowd. Like, but like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, were you scared? I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I was kind of panicking.
What do you expect is gonna happen?
I think that. I don't think that they really thought about it a whole lot at all. That's what I think it was. I think they were like, so yeah, we gotta go out there. There's gonna be like a bunch of fucking PS5s and shit. And like, then everybody's gonna come over. We're gonna be giving out PS5s. It's gonna be like, what the fuck? You know, everybody's gonna be like crazy. Everybody's gonna love it. It's gonna be awesome. Like, everybody's gonna come out. Like, yeah, dude, we're gonna help our city. Yeah, this is gonna be great. And it's like, that's probably what they thought. They didn't think about this shit at all. Like, I don't think that there was any level of maliciousness.
Well, I mean,
which, by the way, like, I'm not saying that it's okay that it happened. Please don't fucking don't get it twisted. I'm not saying it's okay that it happened. I'm just saying I see why it happened.
We appreciate it. You're super popular, and you got a platform that doesn't, you know, out there. Of course it's going to evolve into something stupid. Because the charges he's going to face, I don't know, they're going to be all that serious. But you create this unsafe situation.
Yeah.
People just kind of free for all, and then you get this group
it's
thing.
True.
And
true.
So
he's right.
That's and the level of crimes, it's not going to be that big a deal. Honestly.
I just think that's so funny that inciting a riot isn't that big of a deal. Because, like, in my mind, I would think this is kind of a big deal if you incite a riot. I don't know. I do. I would assume on, like, a tier list, this is, like, at least a B or, like, maybe a low A tier crime.
B or a low A tier crime.
Unless somebody dies. Unless an officer's injured.
Yeah.
There's 65 people that were arrested. So... it's a war out there, man. I mean, that says it all. So this has just been our little reaction to Kaisen in Union Square in Manhattan, trying to give away, you know, just basically trying to blow up, and he blew up, and now he's in jail. So, probably not.
He's not in jail anymore.
But on balance, I guarantee you, he's laughing all over.
Absolutely. Like, if he doesn't get banned for this or something like that, it's gonna be one of the best decisions he's ever made. Absolutely. Because it's like, then he's gonna, like, you know, then it's defined, and then everybody is gonna know about it. Absolutely. So, best ad. Absolutely best ad.
This guy makes so much money, and he's so popular. This is only gonna fuel that. So if he gets a little bit of a, you know, charge, who cares, honestly? Or his team.
He's right.
Look at all the people you put in jeopardy. Look at all the people that you. Look at the injuries. Look at the firework that went off. I mean, this was a.
No, I mean, I think if Kai knew it was going to happen, if he had like a crystal ball and he could see this is what was going to happen, I don't think he would have done it. I don't think it's going to be a net negative for Kai unless he gets banned. Like, if he gets perma'd, there needs to be consequences. He needs to be set as an example. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like if Twitch permabanned them, I would see why they did it. But, like, I would be really sad if it happened. I would be. It would be really sad if it happened. But, I mean, I'm not saying like that. I don't know what they should do. As I said, I talked about this before whenever, like, it originally happened. I think it is a no-win situation from Twitch. And I think that the best thing for them to do, if I was Twitch, what would I tell them to do? Nothing. Do nothing about it. Don't talk about it. Message Kai, be like, bro, can you just not stream for like 2 weeks? Just don't stream. And like, we'll just let this news cycle pass, and then we just ride this shit out, and then pretend like it didn't happen. That's it, it's done. Right? That's what I would do. That's what they should do. Yeah. Twitch is okay, brand people breaking the law. Okay, people breaking the law. Well, it's different, right? Because Kai's like really popular. So it's like, the thing is, like, if you if you are really popular, you follow different rules. You don't have to follow the rules. After, like, this is the thing. After the news cycle is over, nobody gives a fuck about it anymore. Nobody, because like, you got to keep in mind, most things that happen, nobody really cares about them. It doesn't, like, nobody really gives a shit about the cry. Like, it's not that big of a deal unless you live in New York and your car got fucked up. You probably don't really care about this. You're just talking about it to have something to talk about. So the moment that people move past it, that's it. Yeah, Goldfish Memory News. Yeah. Most people don't really give a shit. It's the same thing with almost everything. So when am I doing meetup? I would not do a fucking meetup. Like, I don't think it, like, I don't think anything crazy like that would happen, no. But, like, I just wouldn't want to do that. What would giving a shit look like? I would think, like, probably...
I got some new tour dates to tell you about. We have Oakland, California on September 16th. We've added a show.
Yes, I was going to buy a...
And doing that, it's stunning. It is undeniably the nicest cigar lounge that I've been in. Now, I've only been in probably...
Casanat.
Casanat.
And I never forget. We'll get back to that. PoE 1 felt way better. This is a video Quinn made about Path of Exile 2. Let's take a look at it.
Anything going on with Billion? Let's see. He made anything good? Well, Illuminati. Let's do this one.
The Illuminati is bullshit. Celebrities, politicians, entrepreneurs, and philanthropists, even your next door neighbor, are all in a cabal, except it's not the Illuminati. They just have exactly more money than you. Secret societies are a target, a way to focus public anger, because if not, chaos and violence will flood the streets. This isn't to say secret societies don't exist, but there is a clear wealth disparity between members and critics. There comes a point where if you have enough money, you can do anything. So why not spend it on some hobby where you can dress up and act out your fraternal fetish? Not to mention the fact that the entire world knows about the Illuminati. Real secret societies are ghosts that don't necessarily need to last forever, but serve to accomplish a particular goal. All of this to say, the Illuminati existed, as do many other so-called secret societies, such as Freemasonry, which has entertained the membership of some of the most prominent 17th century figures, including magician Harry Houdini and everyone's favorite, Colonel Sanders. There will always be theorists and doomsday nihilists who blame a certain group or groups for their own shortcomings, whereas the truth is much simpler to find. All you have to do is put in as much effort into seeking the truth than you do believing the conspiracy. First off, the Illuminati is labeled a secret society, an organization whose events, inner systems, and memberships are all deliberately concealed. Wikipedia, the first place to get a baseline understanding of a topic, states that intelligence agencies and guerrilla warfare insurgencies are technically secret societies because they, quote, maintain a public presence, but so do secret societies. I mean, how else could you explain the Detroit Masonic Temple? Last time I checked, the CIA doesn't have a guardian cathedral where they can plan the next coup of a third world country. In any event, the most credible information surrounding these societies, specifically the Illuminati, comes from Hiram College professor Vernon Stauffer, author of New England and the Bavarian Illuminati, as well as René Leforestier, author of the Bavarian Illuminati and German Freemasonry. As expected, the Illuminati's origins stem from one radical thinker, an 18th century lawyer, philosopher, and professor, Johann Adam Weishaupt. Weishaupt, or inadvertently teaching the young Weishaupt on matters concerning philosophy and rationalism. There's no doubt this relationship with his godfather permeated into Weishaupt's adult life, eventually manifesting into what would be known as the Illuminati decades later. As a child, Weishaupt was enrolled at a small Jesuit school in Bavaria, and would later further his education by attending the University of Ingolstadt. He graduated with a doctorate of law and went on to become a professor of canon law at his alma mater. Weishaupt was a member of the Jesuits for most of his life and had been educated by their order, but became disillusioned by their teachings as his political and religious beliefs grew more progressive. According to the laws of the time, the Jesuits weren't even supposed to be there. They retained power at the university, even though in the summer of 1773, Pope Clement XIV issued a papal brief disbanding the Jesuit order. According to Vernon L. Stauffer's New England and the Bavarian Illuminati, the Jesuits made constant attempts to discredit non-clerical staff, especially when course material contained anything liberal or Protestant. Weishaupt slowly but surely became deeply anti-clerical, choosing to spread Enlightenment ideals in defiance of the Catholic Church, at one point turning to the Illuminati's successful counterpart, the Order of Freemasonry. Weishaupt believed Freemasonry held possible answers to his many academic, religious, and social dilemmas, but soon found out he couldn't even gather enough funds to gain admission to a Masonic lodge. Weishaupt ultimately concluded that Freemasonry text was in fact readily available for the public to acquire, thus producing an empty ideology, which left him wanting to find his own answers his own way. Weishaupt would then leave the Jesuit Brotherhood with establishing his very own fraternal order, one that was designed for enlightened thinkers who would encourage a free exchange of ideas. Though unlike veteran cult leaders, Weishaupt couldn't land on a good name, initially starting a small society called the Covenant of Perfectibility, or the Perfectibilists, with 4 other like-minded individuals on May 1st, 1776. These first few members would pledge obeisance to their superior Weishaupt and adopt new names as a form of secrecy. For instance, Weishaupt himself took the name Brother Spartacus, naming himself after the infamous slave leader who led a revolt against Rome, the Bee Order, until, in April of 1778, he settled upon the Owl of Minerva as their symbol, the Illuminaten Orden, or Illuminati. The word Illuminati comes from Latin Illuminatus, which translates to enlightened. An age of reason was underway, and the Illuminati vowed to release humanity from religious slavery, as well as dismantle any corrupt government institutions. Their main goal was to promote secretive doctrines concerning equality and freedom throughout society. In a way, these could have been beliefs that emboldened the American Revolution, or vice versa. However, the name Illuminati had been used many times before. For example, in the 15th and 16th centuries, it was used among a variety of groups like the Alumbrado, a Spanish mystic group claiming to have exalted intellect. Alumbrado quite literally means the before and during the Age of Reformation or Enlightenment, individuals within such enlightened groups were persecuted by eager church inquisitors. The Catholic Church, at one point, had 3 popes. Kings were seeking divine authority, while petty dukes and counts fought for their neighbor's land. Change was bound to happen, but it would still take another century or so for ideas of removing monarchies and despots for more rational and democratic processes to take root. As much as Weishaupt may have disliked clerical or monastic life, the Illuminati was similarly organized according to Jesuit structure. Specific procedures were put in place to maintain internal discipline, as well as a system of mutual surveillance based around the Jesuit model. Where there's humans, there's human nature. Almost immediately after its founding, internal disputes began. According to René Le Forestier, Sutor was expelled from the Society for Indolence, while Massenhausen proved the most active member, recruiting Xavier von Zwack, a former pupil of Weishaupt who was just beginning a substantial administrative career. However, Massenhausen's excitement quickly became a liability for Weishaupt, as he would invite unsavory candidates. Massenhausen would end up leaving the order, but by the fall of 1778, the Illuminati amassed 25 plus members in 5 separate cities: Munich, Ingolstadt, Ravensburg, Freisingen, and Eichstätt, codenamed respectively as Athens, Ulysses, Sparta, Thebes, and Erzurum. 25 members may not seem like a lot, because in reality, it isn't. Yet that doesn't mean they lacked determination or sophistication. In fact, it was actually the complete opposite. Illuminati members were separated into 3 major classes: novice, minerval, and illuminated minerval. This class or grade system turned out to be considered Weishaupt's very own elaborate network of spies. The favored among Weishaupt's spies would become members of the ruling council, otherwise known as the Areopagus. Essentially, the Illuminati had set up a committee that rivaled Weishaupt's authority, but make no mistake, he still held real power. Next among the members are insinuants. An insinuant is a specific individual within the Illuminati who was permitted to recruit new personnel. They were told to actively seek Christians of good character, while Jews, pagans, women, and clerics were explicitly excluded. The most preferred applicant would be a man aged 18 to 30, who they deemed wealthy and obedient. The Germany history intersections has 2 letters from Adam Weishaupt to Franz and Massenhausen. Apparently, these letters give us a look into Weishaupt's recruiting repertoire. Every day, I think about and apply myself to our great building project. Continue working at your end too, and send along some building blocks. Seek the company of younger people. Observe them, and if you find one who is suitable, take hold of him. Look for clever young people. Our people, especially the first ones, must be engaging, enterprising, intriguing, and capable. We need skillful, hardworking, wealthy, well-behaved, powerful people. Incidentally, a year before the Illuminati's creation, Weishaupt joined a similar underground society in order to expand his own procedural material and have a convenient pool to recruit members from, a society he had previously repudiated, the Order of the Freemasons.
How do I swing my
In
pick?
February 1777, Weishaupt gained admission to the Masonic Lodge, previous of the rite of strict observance. However, Weishaupt's goal to infiltrate Freemasonry did not go as planned. While undercover, he realized the first 3 Masonic degrees taught at Blue Lodges did not give him adequate information to exploit. René Le Forestier believes Weishaupt had all but given up until the Italian Freemason Abbé Marodi informed Weishaupt's right hand, Zwack, that if they persevered through their tasks, they would eventually learn secrets of old religion and the primitive church. Zwack would go on to convince Weishaupt to foster friendly relations with Freemasonry as a way to obtain their own lodge. For context, a Masonic lodge is the most basic organizational system within Freemasonry, divided into blue lodges, craft lodges, and ancient craft lodges. This does not include appendant rights like the York or Scottish Rite, which are further degrees a member can pursue after the first 3 basic degrees. If you think of this as a talent tree, once you hit level 3, Master Mason, you can either choose the Scottish or York tree, each giving different benefits. There are also research lodges, instruction lodges, and mother lodges, also known as Grand Lodges. A Grand Lodge must warrant or charter any new lodge as well as produce a constitution for the minor lodges to follow. The first and most well-known Grand Lodge is the premier or United Grand Lodge of England. If you've ever heard of the Masons, then you know about their lodges and how seriously they take them. According to their own belief,
PoE 1 felt way better. Crusade, Rufian told me. He said, the biggest horde guild in Hardcore Classic has been playing semi-hardcore the whole time. Blood and Thunder. The biggest horde guild on Hardcore Classic. A guild that wouldn't do dungeons with non-guildies and wouldn't invite people that had their deaths appealed by the Hardcore Mods team. Auto-appeal a female guild member's 5-minute long wipe. Her hearth is on CD because she didn't use petrification, and she blamed it on a game bug. It appears that since the guilds judge themselves whether or not a death is appealable, all legit hardcore guilds appeal their deaths. So they investigate themselves and they find they did nothing wrong. This is the same guild that witch hunted a friend of mine who was a healer because they made a mistake in Zul'Gurub, ZG. Apparently the story goes that someone hearsay accused a guy of planning to grief Blood and Thunder. So when they lost 5 people to a trash AoE spell, they blamed him, even though it was people and the tank's own fault. Should have stunned or moved away. Spinny boy thing? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, it was the bats? What? Oh my god. Oh no, the Axor, yes. The Berserkers are big boys. Yeah, the Axor. The bats, it's even worse. Bro, it's classic. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. So, this is the ZG situation, alright? Let's look at the ZG situation first. Go. So where's the... Okay, the Bat Rider's right. He's right there. So... 2 Sunders. 4 Warriors. Okay. But why would he... But why would he... But why would they have them on top of each other? I don't understand. Why would they do that? So let me explain. Oh yeah, people don't play well. So these Bat Riders, whenever they get low health, they blow up. Unless you kill them really fast. Okay. Good. Okay, they killed one of them. Unstable concoction. Big idiot died. Yep. Because you can see them, look. They don't even try to move out. Look at this mage. Wait, the mage doesn't even die! Of all the people that deserve to fucking die, it should have been the mage. It was a bug? What's the bug? I'm confused. Yeah, did he cast it early? There was no bug. Yeah, look at this. He's casting the spell. Now, usually, to be fair, usually they cast it at a lower health. They Petri? No way they Petri. Oh my god. Jesus, that was fucking bad. I can't believe that. And they just stood there like bots. Like, none of them even tried to move. And like, you see Mr. Rogue, he's like, oh, the ability that will cause the NPC to explode is about to occur. I should move my character away from the NPC so I don't get hit by the explosion. Oh, wow. Everybody else died. Must be a bug. Appeal. No, it does not. As soon as he begins that cast, he stops moving. And even if he does, the tanks survived. And they could use cooldown. The bug is them. They got squished like one. Oh my god. That is. What a situation. And apparently, they lost 5 people. They blamed Doc Cock. Where's Doc Cock? Wait, the healer? Oh, that makes sense, because he should have healed them. Yeah, I mean, if he had healed them...
What is this one?
They wouldn't have died, right? I mean, sure. I love how this guy goes Berserker stance. Did you really think Berserker stance was the right thing to do in this game? Of all of the things in all of the situations, was Berserker stance the right option? I think not. How the fuck was he supposed to yield that damage? I mean, to be fair, he could have bubbled some of them, but like, it's their fault. It's not his fault. They're stupid, he's not stupid. That's why they're dead and he's not. Okay, so now let's do the second situation. Here we go.
Spee, I'm tuned in the stream. I'm a viewer.
Okay.
These are pretty quick runs. I thought these took longer.
No, they're pretty...
Do this solo.
Yeah, I see why now. Oh shit, this Spee dude.
What? How did that happen? I don't know how that happened.
I can't do anything to help, yeah, it sucks.
I got pack for you.
That's smart for him to do that.
We got feared.
Looks like
What if I can distract you from me?
He is on somebody else.
Yeah, he feared us. Yeah, he's on the mage. The mage is gonna block. Yeah, Jesus. He's got to be coming to me now.
We can't target him. Can you vanish for that?
Yeah, but I don't want to vanish on somebody else.
Yeah, come on.
I would...
Hearth, what are you doing? Get the fuck out of here!
He's on the way back. He's on the way back.
I'm hearthing.
I don't think he's gonna make it, dude. That guy's hauling
You have a
ass.
Petri?
I'm not gonna make it. I do have a Petri.
Please,
There it is.
please.
You made
Oh
it.
no!
Oh my god.
No, block. What the fuck was that?
Holy shit.
Is he still running after people or what?
Yeah, he is still running after people.
Wait. Why would they fucking do that?
They'll jump down the way that I did.
How?
We're going all the way back to that one you guys showed at the start, right?
Yep.
Just run out of the instance and reset. What are you doing?
He's like bugged out on the railings. You guys got lots of time now.
Yes.
Sims, I don't know if you'll be able to.
Just run out. What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
He's
never
big
seen
enough.
that happen.
I have never seen this happen. No.
I'm just worried about y'all being in combat.
Dude, this guy
Yeah.
walks by him and just got whopped.
I assume that I'm safe because I got the suit on.
Yeah, probably.
Like
I
I'm
think
not
you may have walked
combat
up
or anything.
too early, actually. I think you may have walked up too early.
I think he's up.
Yeah.
I just don't want to.
Replica of the lone.
Today's guest is a 16-time world champion. There's nobody like him. I'll tell you that. He's one of a kind. He has had quite a life. I mean, the guy has been, he survived a plane crash, a lightning strike. He's been through it all. We're grateful for his time today. He's one of the greatest entertainers of our time. Today's guest is the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
I'll sit and tell you my story. Shine on me, and I will find a song I will sing it.
Yeah, that's why I moved over to Nashville a few years ago.
Is that where you live now?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's a great place.
Save that tax money too,
Yeah.
baby.
No kidding.
And you can conceal carry. You can carry a weapon over there.
Oh, you can?
Oh yeah.
Like, I believe that. We're really can't you carry a weapon now? I mean, yeah, somebody, even when it's not legal, somebody's carrying a weapon.
Oh, that's a true point, dude. Well, heck, in half your career, somebody always that was the funny thing about wrestling. Somebody always showed up with a weapon. You know, it's like
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You have no idea. you wouldn't believe some of the stories I could tell you about guns.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to think when I saw my first gun. Did y'all have guns in the house growing up?
Yeah, for my dad was an avid hunter.
He was?
Yeah. I grew up in Minnesota, so we pheasant, duck, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not big game, but shotguns.
Yeah.
And then I collected guns for years. I had a guy that was a policeman in Asheville, North Carolina. I won't mention his name. In the 70s, that the guns that they recover and raids and all that shit, right? And he would let me walk in the room, pick out what I wanted. Pay what I wanted to pay. I would just pay ridiculously low amounts of money. Like, as an example, they used to have the state troopers used to carry that nickel-plated 357. I mean, yeah, unbelievable. They can't find those guns anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only gun I don't have, I tried, and I should have got it, but I didn't. Is I was going to buy a replica of the Lone Survivor.
The Lone Ranger?
No, the Lone Survivor, the rifle.
Oh, I never even seen it. I don't think.
Oh yeah, the one that Bradley Cooper carried. Remember? Or yeah, who was it? Who played Lone Survivor? Wahlberg or Cooper? Mark Wahlberg. Where was the sniper?
Oh, I gotta check that out.
That rifle's beautiful.
Yeah?
They have right here in Tampa. In John, they own all 5 of the bars now.
Yeah, they do.
I'm trying to get the kid to carry the drink.
He won't carry it for you?
I haven't asked him yet.
Oh,
but I'm going to. Yeah, I know him real well. Yeah, his place is too much, huh?
Oh man, his place is unreal. He's got he built like a new. It's almost like the capital of the South in a way or something.
Well, it's a replica of the White House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you roll up there, you're like, this is unreal.
In a big arena, I thought it was like a warehouse.
Yeah.
He's got a goddamn production studio in there, all his collected cars, and I mean, 2 bars, a church.
Yeah,
600 acres of prime land.
Oh yeah, he said he can get married and divorced right there legally on his property.
Yeah.
I said, I think the bar probably helps you get divorced.
Yeah.
I said, I think that'll lead to it.
Yeah. He's not touring right now. He said I'm going to let the young kids help inspire them and help them.
Yeah. Rick, thanks for hanging out, man.
Thank you for having me.
Man, I spent so much of my childhood watching you, man. And thank you.
Thank you.
It was some people watched WWF, right?
Yeah.
And that was fine. That was easy.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, if you stayed up and if you watched NWA, right?
Yeah.
That's who knew about, like, those.
Yeah.
That's when you could tell if people were rich or not.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like. Like,
Yeah.
poor kids always knew about all the NWA guys.
Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from Covington, Louisiana.
Okay. Cool.
So just like a small town outside of New
Yeah.
Orleans.
Mid-South.
Yeah. And man,
Mid-South
it was,
wrestling.
dude, Terry Funk, just
Bill
Von
Watts,
Erichs.
yeah,
Oh, just God, there was so much awesome wrestling back then.
JYD.
Oh, dude. What was he like in person?
Good guy.
Yeah?
Yeah. Died way too early. That was the Rock and Roll Express for there, Midnight Express.
Oh, the heck is
Bill
this story?
Watts. Yeah. Yeah, we've lost a lot of them, unfortunately.
The Von Erichs.
All gone except for Kevin.
And I mean, yeah, that whole family just tragedy. 3 suicides, I think, in the family. Did you go to any of those funerals? What about the funerals over the years?
I went to 3 of them. Well, let me see. The oldest son, got electrocuted when his dad first started out there in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah, when he was a kid.
Had a trailer. He never wrestled or anything. But he just got electrocuted with a hot wire in a damn trailer park. And then Carrie, David, had some kind of a obviously illegal substance. It was I can't remember what they're called, but
It's probably, I hope it was cocaine.
No, it's a muscle relaxer.
Oh.
He choked to death. He couldn't regurgitate. They call them
Quaaludes?
Somas.
Somas. God.
Same thing happened to Miss Elizabeth.
Really?
Yeah, she couldn't regurgitate because she was taking the Somas. I've never understood that, but that high from a Soma is nothing that I want to entertain ever.
Yeah, a buddy of mine gave me 2 Somas once, and I was he wanted me to drive us somewhere.
Yeah.
So he's not the smartest guy, and I drove us onto a street that didn't even exist, right into a ditch.
Oh, I'm sure. I've never tried one, but man, I can name 3 or 4 guys that have died. I mean, it's 10 times the impact of a Valium.
Yeah, man, some of those medicines are just too powerful.
Yeah.
Did you go to some funerals over the year? What was like a wild funeral? What was one that really hit you, man? Was there? I mean, obviously funerals are just heartbreaking.
Oh, probably the hardest for me in the last 5 years. Well, first of all, Dusty Rhodes Dusty and Piper were really difficult for me. And then Harley Race. That was really difficult. But
yeah, Dusty must have shot. I mean, it must have been heartbreaking.
The WWE, the funeral for Dusty was as well handled as anything I've ever seen. They had it here in Tampa, obviously, and there were probably 2,000 people trying to get in, but the WWE had full security, and the boys spoke so elegantly of their dad. Cody, and he didn't. Neither one of them broke down real bad. I'll break down when I think about it. But he said, he asked his mom one time. He said, "How come there's only just pictures of Dad in the house and no other wrestlers?" And his mother replied, "Why would you have a picture of any other wrestler when you're married to Elvis?"
Yeah. Well, was he a good husband? What kind of guy was he?
Great guy.
Wow.
Great
he was
guy.
so lovable.
The most innovative. One of the most innovative, right there, tied with Vince. Innovative with ideas and creativity, and
he was so fun to watch. Like, there's wrestlers that are entertaining to watch because of their physical acumen. There's wrestlers that are entertaining to watch because of the moves they do.
Yeah.
Dusty had that, like, I loved when he would go against the ropes and kind of put on this like almost feminine wiles kind of thing, you know, and like he was just a
he could wrestle. I wrestled him probably 1,000-hour Broadway. He could wrestle for an hour. Wow. Yeah, don't let his weight was deceiving. It's to the fact that he was in good condition. Hard to wrestle now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Oh, I can't even make love for 11 minutes.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, so yeah, you put me against another man, I can't do an hour, bro. No matter what city we're in.
I better keep you overnight in Tampa tonight, brother. I get some people that can help you out with that.
I don't know, dude. I don't know,
My
man.
friend Dick Murdoch told me a story one time. The girl said, "Hey, what about me?" He said, "Hey, we both started at the same time. I can't help it if you can't keep up." That doesn't fly with the chicks these days.
No, these days, yeah, all these chicks want to, you know, everybody wants to get off, and it's just too much, man. I miss the old days when a woman was just happy you showed up. I can't, yeah, man. Well, I always had to take, you know, I was always so nervous. I've always been nervous, kind of nervous my whole life, and I always had to get those gas station pills, those wiener pills, you know? And a lot of the series they came out with, they never even tested, I don't think, on humans or whatever. I think a lot of them were animal tested.
Yeah.
Which I respect, but it's a little different, you know, going...
3 blocks from here, the age of illumination clinic, right? I get 4 shots a week, then, brother.
Oh, really?
I'll take you by after we do the interview.
They shoot you up?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing what you can do to yourself these days.
Oh, damn.
If you got the money.
What do they shoot you right in your wiener?
Yeah, right there.
What the fuck?
Take 25 years off it.
Oh, damn, dude. Yeah, because look, I'd get the gas station pills and they make my legs sweat, right? So I could have sex, but I could barely stay on the bed. That was the problem. I mean, it would be like, the lady would like, she'd like, did you get off of it? No, but I think my thighs did. I mean, they make your legs sweat so bad. Some of them, they made them in India.
Yeah.
And, I mean, those shook my nervous system. But, yeah, I've always needed the pills, man. I think I used a lot of steroids when I was young, and I don't know if that had enough. I don't know. Who knows? You know, it could just be that I'm in my head a lot, but, yeah. I've always
I
had.
took a few too when I have to admit, in my youth.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I took them. Dude, I once, I'll tell you.
And small testicles.
You had small, yeah.
Nobody explains the downside.
Oh, man, you can spend 4 minutes looking for one of your nuts.
Exactly.
If you're on
Wait, we got the medicine over here to make them grow back.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. It's called HCG.
How big do they get?
I don't know. Everybody's got a different opinion.
Oh, I remember mine got so small. I think when I was a senior in high school, it was like trying to find the last 2 pieces of Halloween candy in a pillowcase. Man, it got pretty bad there. Yeah, I remember. We used to use Test 200. I think was what we used or something.
200 milligram test. Yeah.
God, that shit was fun.
Yeah.
Oh God, I would fucking choke out my own stepmother.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have one.
Yeah, I never experienced that. And it never gave me. I guess I didn't take enough of it. I didn't have that, what they call road rage.
Yeah.
Roid. I mean, things have upset me over the years, but it wasn't as a result of steroids, you know.
Yeah. But I think you had enough energy in you.
Yeah, I've always been high energy. Yeah.
What a blessing, huh?
Yeah. People have always assumed that I snorted cocaine and all that. The only drug I've ever taken, but it was prescription, is Xanax.
Really?
No cocaine. I did smoke weed when I was younger, not smoke it now that I'm involved in the world of cannabis. But I think that's one of the reasons I'm still here, because that up and down of cocaine, and then the guys would take the uppers in the morning, or not just our guys, but athletes, period.
Yeah.
It's a game when you're competing. Stay up and then go down. Stay up, especially, you know, when you're traveling internationally, you know, like going to Japan twice a month, or going to Australia twice a month, like I was doing in the 80s. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Why is that happening?
Yeah, and once you get used this is the tough thing about using performance enhancers. I think once you get used to getting something to help you get up or to get down, it's hard not to want to use it again.
Yeah.
And then you need the opposite of it.
Yeah.
So that's where it gets really tricky.
Well, when I almost died in 17, I mean, I literally, you know the story?
I mean, I know a lot of stories where you almost died. So which one are we talking about?
No, 2017.
Okay.
My intestine ruptured.
Oh, when you had the
intestine rupture.
Right.
Yeah. I was septic, respiratory heart failure, total kidney failure, pneumonia, septic being the worst part, right? And I was in a coma for 13 days. So when all that, and then of course I had the stoma, the bag attached to my intestine. Had that for a year, but at the end of the day, when I finally realized, and I had no memory for 6 months, going backwards, forward, from the time I woke up, of course I recognized everybody, but I couldn't remember anything. I didn't remember going to the hospital.
Wow.
So, but when I finally started taking a toll of myself, like, I'm like, what? I am really I'm a nightmare. Cosmetic fucking nightmare. I look like shit. So.
What do you mean a cosmetic nightmare?
I mean, I've got a scar from here to here. I lost 41 pounds. I was stoma. I'll show you some pictures later on. It was bad.
So that changed everything.
Yeah, and my testosterone count, something I always took pride in, right? And we all do. We get it done. Blood work is a necessity of life. My testosterone count was 12. That can kill you alone. But doctors don't want to play. The word testosterone is like, no, doctors don't want to hurt. I mean, you can, there are ways to find out the levels that you should be at.
Mm-hmm.
But I was down to 12. So I called the doctor. He said, that's too low, but I don't want to.
12? What? It's 12? 12 sounds like.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 400 at my age.
Oh, damn, you had 12 left, dude.
Yeah, I keep it at 1,000 now.
Oh, okay.
But I have to run by the gas station every week.
Oh, yeah, dude. Fill her up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying, brother? Hey, I got $60 on pump number one.
The 400 at my age don't work. I get 1,000. I got to have a little check.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Isn't 1,000 too high for you? No. Perfect.
Yeah, so you were out of coma. What was it like to be in a coma, man? I always wanted to be in a coma.
I just dreamt. I just dreamt. And I wake, like I dreamt my daughter got married, and I went back and thought about stuff and wrestling. It's funny, I got so high with Mike one night.
Mike Tyson? Is that who we're talking about, Mike Tyson?
Yeah, with Mike.
Yeah.
So high, we were partners in the cannabis business.
Mm-hmm.
Got so high with Mike one night in the Hamptons that I went what's called a cannabis coma, right? I mean, I actually thought I died. I said to myself, and they brought me back to my room, and I thought, I mean, I wasn't aware of anything. I kept asking people to touch, like you do when you think it's gonna hurt.
Uh-huh.
And people were squeezing my hand, but I'd be talking to them, and they wouldn't talk back to me, and I was like, on the delayed process, right?
Yeah.
And I said to myself, did I die? If I just died, because I feel like I did when I was in my coma, but I can think. I don't think I could think when I was in my coma. I mean, that's the way I was talking to myself.
Wow.
So, and all of a sudden, I mean, everything possible. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I kind of sat up like Linda Blair and went,
I'm alive.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I called someone on the phone and said, is this really you? That's how screwed up I got.
That was just a television. That was a television timeout.
Oh
Rick.
my God.
That's all that was.
I said, did I take my clothes off at the dining room table or anything? But let me know what I've done wrong. All I could think of was what I possibly could have done wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I remember just being too. There's something about that level of weed now. It gets you too high.
Well, I just hadn't done enough. And I practiced up every time I knew I'm going to see Mike.
Yeah. You got to work your way up to it.
Yeah. I'm about a 3 or 4 hit guy, but I just said I'm gonna smoke as much as you right now, brother.
Dude, that weed comes off the top rope, brother.
Oh man,
that shit's a highlight. Yeah, that shit make you highlight, dude. Yeah. I remember getting so high one night I was trying to sneak up on a mirror for like probably 2 hours.
That's good.
And I'll tell you this, dude, I got pretty fucking close, man.
You keep sneaking up on the mirror?
Oh, I think if it had been a leap year, I could have done it.
I should have brought some Ric Flair drip for you, man.
Oh, I'll get some.
Okay.
I'll get some. I'm glad I got this, man. You brought me this.
Okay.
I mean, this alone is pretty epic.
Yeah.
You know, it's great. You are like an original human energy drink. So
I am.
Yeah. So to have one, yeah, makes perfect sense. Have you been in an accident? Have you been damaged up?
No. Holy ad, bro.
Help. You know, one thing, Rick, that I noticed that you did, that you always did really exceptionally, which kept me super entertained, was your ability to play defense. If you got hit, you always went over your own legs.
Yeah.
It was like, it was as much fun to watch you like being defeated as it was to watch you winning. And for some reason, sometimes it was almost...
I'm better at getting beat.
You were good at it. You were really good at it, weren't you?
And then I just lie the next day on TV and then people forget about it. That didn't happen to me.
When you were begging
what
for
were you
mercy,
watching?
nobody did it. Like, it was just, there was...
Especially with the hair red, blood flying everywhere.
But there was something about it that, because a lot of guys, they would just be getting beat in that moment.
Yeah.
But you were always actively demanding the attention. Sometimes I wouldn't even know who was hitting you because I was watching you. And that's really interesting. A lot of times you're watching the beater, not the BT, you know.
Yeah, I could take an ass kicking. I was really good at that.
How did that energy start, you think?
I've had it my whole life. Brother, I was ADD before ADD was about. Oh, yeah. I'm still looking up in the fourth grade. Richard, can we have your attention, please? Social Studies 101. I spent 13 years in high school, let me tell you. I still haven't passed English or Latin.
There's only 4 years of it.
I was there 5.
Why?
I mean,
you had ADD,
I didn't go to 12th grade. I went to 13th grade. And then barely got out.
Did you go to prom? Do you remember going? Did you go to high school prom?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who was it?
Well, here's the funny thing. This is a great story. I've never told it before. So I hitchhiked. My parents were in Minneapolis, very conservative. I was in private school in Wisconsin. I got in trouble. It was either private school, nothing bad.
Yeah, the Hadley Center. Where'd you go? What was it called?
I went to Wayland Academy in Beaver Dam. Prep school, very expensive. It was either that or a reform school. Because I got in some trouble trying to buy liquor underage. Nothing serious, but it was enough to get me in trouble. And then riding my scooter around Lake Calhoun. So I got there, so I made all these friends, and you know, there's no cell phones back in the 60s and all that. So now I have a whole new group of friends, and they're all from wealthy families, and they go to, everybody's going to spring break. I said, what's spring break? They said, we're all going to Florida. So I went home, and I said to my mom and dad, I said, can I go visit my friend Bruce in Chicago? And they said, yeah, they gave me $200 and took me to the train station. And they drove off, and I walked out of the train station and hitchhiked all the way to Fort Lauderdale. Wow. It was the greatest. I did it 2 years in a row. So
would you go right out to the interstate and put your thumb out?
Yeah, brother, I'm telling you. I mean, I'm walking through Macon County line, man. I mean, that was some strange shit for a guy from Minneapolis. Walking through Macon, Georgia, brother. What the hell? This looks different than Minneapolis. So anyway, then I got picked up by these college girls. Went right in. So my first night there, I'm in Arby's, right? And with my friend, and this chick is working at Arby's. And she goes, we're got a Wisconsin leather jacket on and no shirt, you know, like trying to be cool. And she goes, where'd you go to school? I said, University of Wisconsin. She said, cool. She said, you want to go have drinks afterwards? I said, what time do you get off? She said, 10 o'clock. And so I ended up staying with her and her mom. Wow. On top of her mom with the petition.
On top of which one?
On top of both. But I invited the one. I invited the one to. What was there 10 days? I mean,
hey, look, dude. At 10 days, you got to meet the whole family.
Yeah, exactly. But I ended up inviting her to prom, you know, but not even thinking. And so I get a letter from her at school, and she said, my mom is flying me to Madison. Are you going to pick me up and take me to prom? And I had a girlfriend in high school. Boy, that was bad. So I did have to, I said, Ann, I made a mistake, and so Gwen Worthen was her name.
Oh.
Gwen, where are you now?
Gwen
Worthen. Forgive me.
And so she didn't fly in then? You told
she
her
did fly in.
Oh,
yeah.
she did. And you told your girlfriend you couldn't take her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So was it strange? Because I similarly brought a girl to.
Well, I didn't really have like that kind of relationship in high school.
Right.
Yeah, they gave us what they called Saturday night. This is the great shit. They gave us what's called Soch, right?
So what is it called?
Soch.
Soch.
10 minutes to go hide behind a tree.
Who did, the parents?
No, the school did.
Oh, really?
So they have dances and all that.
Right.
And at 10 o'clock, you get 10 minutes to go hide behind a tree. And then back, it was a co-ed school, back to the dormitories. The dormitories weren't co-ed.
Right.
But we all had binoculars and shit, and telescopes looking at the chicks.
You had a lot of intel.
Way ahead of our time. We had the intel. And Polaroids were available back then.
Yeah, brother. So they gave you 10 minutes after the prom and after the dance ended?
No, after every Saturday night, they called it Soch.
Okay.
You guys going to have 10 minutes. Everybody's running live behind a tree. What are you going to get in 10 minutes, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah, but you could try, right?
I know I did. Just as I got that first hook on call, here goes the whistle. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's like a military drill. Everybody run. You have 10 seconds to return to dormitory. Well, turn the goddamn dogs loose. I think it's just a hook in his life. Just be one thing.
Oh, it's so hard to touch a tit with a St. Bernard bite.
Oh, my God. Just tune in Tokyo, probably. Just try. Next time,
you're trying to get that bra on.
Next time, you just not wear a bra or just wear a big sweater. Nobody will know.
God, that was fun. So you were unsuccessful with staying committed in a relationship from the beginning.
Oh yeah, I've had problems with that with relationships. I've been married 4 times.
Wow.
But a lot of that is in respect to my travel. God, you being a fan, you probably don't realize I wrestled an average of 400 days a year, 400 times.
Yeah.
Because twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday for 10 years. Mike, how can you wrestle for? Don't break. I know you graduated, but there's only 365 days.
Right.
I'm never home. How do you stay married? Some women just can't live like that, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah, my first wife just said, it's cool, and I have 2 kids, but I said, I'll buy you a bigger house. She said, I don't care. I've been spending my life alone. Because once you get on the road, and if you're successful, as you know.
Yeah, once it gets busy, it gets busy.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and why go home? If you have a day off and you're like in Los Angeles, you have 1 day off. Are you going to go all the way back to Toronto, North Carolina, or are you going to stay in L.A.?
You're going to stay in L.A. and start a new family.
New York. You find your old family.
How many guys do you feel like had kind of illegitimate children out there?
Oh, I don't know.
You think it started to happen?
I think I'm sure it has happened, but I mean, that happens happens with any traveling people. But some of these girls, not in the old days, they wanted to get pregnant.
Oh yeah.
If you had money, they wanted to get pregnant. And guess what? Hello. That's why all this stuff is so sophisticated now with DNA and all that. That stuff wasn't around back when I was your age and that. But
yeah, you had to hold the baby up next to the man.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I never experienced that. I don't know, but I think, falling back, that can't all fall back on wrestlers because
right, there's 2 partners.
Well, that's happened. I mean, the football players that travel, the basketball players that travel, baseball players are never home. I mean, pilots and flight attendants. Come on, give them a break.
They're just they just have.
In the old days, they were the most fun. The flight attendants were the most fun. We have matches. We have tickets to the matches tonight. Yes. What do I tell you saying that? Oh, okay. I'm not supposed to tell you, but nah.
Yeah, flight attendant, bro.
Yeah.
And flight attendants used to be hot.
Were they ever? God. They still are, some of them, but it's just an attitude thing now. Jesus.
But some of them now, they're hot, but then they're like men.
Well, it's just a different time.
They're just kind of like, you think it's a woman, and then they turn them when they say, and they're like, I'm a man, and you're like, oh, dang.
I haven't experienced that, but I've experienced it where they just don't want to do any more than they have to.
Yeah.
In the old days, I think that they were
They would go above and beyond for the company.
Above and beyond because but normal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Things have changed a lot with that. And, you can't. You got to be very careful what you say to a woman now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
you couldn't exist nowadays.
No, I'm kidding. God, I used to walk around all the flight attendants doing the sweet and low joke. I'll show it to you later on. You know what difference between sugar and sweet and low? I'll show her later on. No, you could never do that with a flight attendant now. Good Lord.
But did women get offended back then by it, or they kind of liked flirting, or what was it like?
To flirt. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
God. I mean, but you know, now it's like any kind of travel today. I mean, I dread. That's why I fly private a lot. If I can, but if it's within practice.
Yeah, understood.
Because people in general, they put computers on, put earplugs on. You got no one to talk to. People don't drink in the old days. People would drink on the plane.
Oh yeah,
talk to each other, walk around, and now everything is such a stringent. I mean, everything is a rule.
Yes.
You know, remember we used to sit in the old cabins on the higher end, the 747s, tell stories, laugh, on the big trays of food. I mean, all that stuff. On our domestic airlines is gone.
Yeah.
Now the foreign airlines still let that stuff go on.
Oh yeah.
But we've shut down everything. Singapore Airlines, you wouldn't know about it.
Yeah, you must.
You know, you can get a massage.
Oh, don't polish your feet.
Yeah, everything.
They had somebody come out and polish my feet on
Did they? Yeah.
I didn't even know they needed polish.
Yeah, anything you want.
They'll do it all, dude. Yeah. They'll fucking cut they'll cut the hair on the back of your legs.
Yeah, I mean, ongoing down Sariana, they never stop serving you.
Yeah.
It's great, but domestically, we've just gotten so conservative. And
it's just different. Everything is a rule. That's a great statement. Everything's a rule now.
Yeah.
It's like, don't attack the pilots. Don't smoke in the bathroom.
Well, I understand that, but I mean, it's just, you know, I understand the pilot thing, but it's like, you know, if I'll give you an example. So I fly like I've got 4 million miles. I always had 15 million miles. Between Northwest, which went bankrupt, Eastern went bankrupt, U.S. Air, well, I mean, they've all, you know, gone aside.
Yeah.
Well, they're still going. And Delta was my favorite.
I like Delta too.
Yeah. But we used to be able to socialize and all that. Now, you know, when the thing goes on and they go, here's what makes me mad, and I'm sure you've felt it. You know when the captain goes, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to approach. That means you're right at 10,000 feet. I know this for a fact. You're still 45 to 50 minutes from touching down to planes descending. Ma'am, can I have a cup of coffee? No, we've closed the galley. Yeah. Ma'am, the flight, we're not going to land for 50 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. I think, well, ma'am, I said, can I have a beer? She said, no, we've closed it up. I said, is that your rule or the flight rule? I said, I've had women like, are you harassing me? I said, no, I was asking you for a beer. Excuse me, you know? Or they'll go, oh, yeah, please, Mr. Flair, what would you like?
Yeah.
Can I have a picture? Can you sign something for my son? It's A or B.
Yeah.
And and I would say it's like 60-40 good, but the 40 can just, you know, and then like I had that surgery, right? That bag broke a couple times on an airplane. Yeah, and
it smells bad, right?
Well, I had to stay in 3 hours in the bathroom. The woman's knocking. What are you doing? You really don't want me to know, but don't knock on the door again. I mean, you can't. Yeah, it's horrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because it's
attached to your intestine.
It's attached to your intestine. Yeah. So it's dookie.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah, I would not push that on anybody ever.
Yeah, I mean, I've stepped in shit before, and that's if I was bringing my own shit outside of me, I would be bummed out.
My wife actually had to learn
how to clean it.
Well, we hired full-time help, right?
Yeah.
But it got to be where, like, on the weekend, and it extended to like a weekend where it's like being in a rest home. You know? Regular staff is gone, and the people working on the weekends don't want to be there anyway.
They're second string, third string. Yeah,
so,
you're talking.
So then she finally went to stoma class and learned how to do it herself. But it's nasty, man.
Yeah.
And you have to really watch what you eat because different things trigger it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Was it kind of cool to eat some things and see them come out in the bag?
I know the bag wasn't clear.
Oh, it wasn't?
they didn't make clear bags.
Damn, you got to get that clear one, huh? I was saying, that'd be crazy.
I'm laughing right now. Wasn't funny then. Oh.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. My sister was born with a rare liver disease, and so she needed a transplant her whole life when we were kids. And so she had to have a bag a lot.
Yeah.
And so there was always, we were always dealing with bile or some type of thing around the house, you know.
It's terrible. I feel I feel bad. I'm making light of it, but
no, we're joking.
No, I was just saying some of the things that you go through with that condition. And it takes really patient people. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
That really care for you. That be around you.
Well, nurses, that's one thing. I would love to marry a nurse, I think, one day, because the ability to have that job is really a God-given gift, I think.
Let me tell you, I had to, right after this, right, I had to have 4 heart surgeries in 7 weeks. Okay, but by the second 2, they were walking me into the same room and the same nurses, and the girl brought her, what do you call those things? A player she was playing my Space Odyssey, my entrance music. Yeah, and she goes to me. I swear to God, you couldn't make it up, right? So they're put me down and cover me up, and she put a washcloth on top of my groin. Yeah. And she said, I won't let anybody see Space Mountain looking like this. The next thing I know, I was asleep.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
The cold cloth covered me. To a patient.
She said, we don't want to see Space Mountain looking like this.
Yeah, no, we won't let anybody see Space Mountain. And I hope she meant the other nurse.
These days, man, you don't know who's trying to look.
Yeah, oh my God.
Wow.
Or take a picture of social media. Rick Larry and all that shit. Look at this little thing. Look at this little dealing. Who's he kidding?
Yeah, you don't want. Yeah, that would be the worst, man.
Oh no shit.
Oh.
Yeah, when I was getting my second vasectomy, the first one didn't work. I told the girls there waiting me, and I said, "You guys signed the release?" And they go, "What release?" The release and said, "You're not going to tell anybody how small my dick is." They all started laughing. I go. She goes, "We don't do that here." I said, "Ma'am, I'm just kidding. I'm getting ready to go and have you guys cut my nuts again." Trying to find some fucking humor in the moment.
Yeah, like, jeepers, lady. You're about to saw into my nuts.
Yeah.
Let us have a chuckle.
We don't sign releases, guys. I'm just kidding, please.
How small my dick is. Dude, that's
I said
great.
penis. I didn't say
Oh,
dick,
yeah,
but-
good. Penis, yeah. Some people
might
want
as
it.
well. So,
Yeah.
Girls use that word more than guys do.
Now it's different,
Yeah, it
man.
is.
Oh, girls will send messages. Girls will be like, come and fuck me, you
Yeah.
creep.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus. Well, all right.
I haven't got one of those lately.
Well,
Anyway. I'll give you my number, pass it out.
What state had the best women, do you think?
Florida. Here or
because Florida has a lot of criminals built into it. There's something about that pirate. Because remember, pirates started this place. There's Spanish. People can dance. They can hide treasure.
It's a great place to live. You know, the difference between Miami and Tampa is like night and day.
Yeah.
Tampa just great. But Texas, beautiful women there.
Oh, yeah.
There's beautiful women everywhere. But it just seems like there's an abundance of them in Tampa. You got plenty of all the colleges here. You've got Tampa University, then you have South Florida,
Hooters,
UCF where she went. I mean, and then you've got Florida State. I mean, there's a bar over here called AMSO that during the football season, when the alumni and it's insanity.
What's it called?
It's American Social.
Okay, AMSO.
Yeah, and it's over here on the water, you know, with yachts outside and everything. And I would say it's probably 14 or 15,000 square feet. It's big.
Yeah.
And they can house it. But man, they have like 30 TVs for these college games in that river in town.
It's a vibe, huh?
It's a vibe and a half. And there are women everywhere.
Oh.
God, I wish I was 35 just one day.
What would you do, you think?
I don't know. I've thought about that a lot. I don't know, man.
But just give me an idea.
35 on a Saturday in American Social, I could do a lot of damage. 30 even more.
That 5 years, huh? Who did you guys after the matches? Was there like group shower? How did it all? Was there like a big group shower?
Oh, what, big group shower?
Like for the did you guys? Was it like a football team that after the night everybody was there like a big?
No, the guys shower. I mean,
Just in and out.
They get their match and they're gone.
Yeah. And when you guys used to drive, I mean, one thing that's always fascinating about wrestlers, I'm friends with The Miz, right? He's a wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
And
he's a great kid.
He is a great guy.
How do you know?
He's a great guy. We've known each other for almost 15 years now.
Oh, he's a great kid, man.
Yeah.
He's a guy that really cares for the business, man. And they shit on him when he started.
They gave him a tough time,
They gave him a tough time. That's bullshit. And that, that's the guys that bully. I got no time for that. But
Yeah.
he's a wonderful kid.
Yeah.
And he's made the most of it. And I was going to tell you the truth. He dealt whatever they hand him. He makes work.
He did it. Yep. That's a good point, huh?
It's a gift. Whatever they hand him, he goes. He doesn't complain. If he does, I'm not aware of it. And so damn respectful. He's a great kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I met him years ago with his dad. He was always a hard worker.
Yeah.
And just extremely charismatic. He always had that energy that was, he always had this charisma that was a little bit beyond him as a person.
He's a Cleveland guy.
Yeah.
So is Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, is Dolph?
Yeah. Yeah, Dolph's a comedian too, right?
Yeah, I know that he's done some comedy. He and I communicate sometimes on social media.
Yeah.
But
He's a great kid.
The Miz and I have been friends for a long time, and I've always admired his ability to roll with the punches.
Yeah.
What was it like whenever you did your storyline ever get like where you were like, I know you had those Bischoff years where you didn't love it, and
hated it.
Yeah.
Worse.
It must have been hard, huh?
Well, I was the guy, out of sight, out of mind. It didn't work. He kept trying to lose me.
Like, what do you mean out of sight, out of mind?
Means he thought if he could take me off TV and put me and bury me, that he forgot where I'd been for 20 years, 25 years before I met him.
Yeah.
You don't need 25 years of being the man. And then all of a sudden, have some dipshit trying to get back to the pack.
Yeah.
A big time loss of self-confidence period in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you don't have as much control over how, not relevant you stay, but how much attention they give you. I mean, it's kind of interesting the way you guys' business is set up, right? It's like you're the performer, you're the athlete, you're the competitor, but then there's also this business side that kind of gets to
politics.
Right.
Yeah.
Was it like that early on? Did it change? It wasn't like that early on.
When I got in business, you were good, they were bad. And if you were bad and they don't like you, they beat you up.
Really?
Right? Beat you up right in the ring. Yeah. Now it's all good. Oh, geez.
It's a business more.
Yeah, usually when you enjoyed it the most, when I enjoyed it the most, is when you were there because you were that much better than the next guy or the woman was better. Now you can be better than anybody, but it's all it's sad. But you either accept it or you don't be part of it. I'd rather be part of it and accept it, and I don't talk about it. And I'm not talking about any individuals. I'm just addressing the reality of our business now. I mean, it's very political.
Yeah.
Where football and all that gets political, but you're not going to put Aaron Rodgers down. You're not going to put down X, Y, Z guy, or just whatever, use Aaron as an example.
Yeah.
Because he said something smart.
Yeah.
You're going to play them up.
Right. And if somebody says something smart, it's almost, with you guys, it almost would behoove them to use that as the...
Well, yeah, but they have these writers that come in that have never wrestled.
Writers are on.
I mean, they come and they go. A turnover. And how do you ever get to learn the business? If it took me 12 years, let's say, I started in 72. I didn't figure this shit out really till 80 years. So how long is it? 11, 10 years, 9 years? Yeah. It took me 9 years to figure it out. And every time I thought I had it, something else popped up.
Yeah.
But then once I got it, I didn't let it go. But then people want to take it from me. Oh, he's too old. He's not ready. Doesn't look the same. 80s heels don't draw. I've heard it all.
Yeah.
And here I'm sitting here with you today. Where are they?
Yeah, I don't know.
They're driving with me.
Yeah.
Some of them busting. Some of them running cars.
Yeah. What was it like when you guys would hit the road? Was that a lot of fun? Did you guys enjoy it?
3,000 miles a week, man. Minimum. Yeah.
And it was mostly the southeast you guys ran, huh?
Well, I was in Charlotte. I'm probably the only wrestler alive. Even Hulk had to move out of Florida. He moved to Stanford for a while. He tell you that, but Hulk and I are probably the only two guys that during the course of our career in our heyday that never left home. I never left Charlotte. They wanted me to go to Atlanta. They wanted me to go to Florida. I mean, I wish I had come down here only because of the tax issues.
Yeah.
But once I found it, when I was there, it was when I got to Charlotte, it was me and Richard Petty.
Yeah.
Highest building was 10 stories. Brown bag. I mean, I've seen that before. And why would I leave the city?
Yeah. Did all your wives, you met them all in Charlotte?
Yeah.
Wow.
No. My first wife was in Minneapolis. She's from Minneapolis.
Oh, yeah.
She lives in Charlotte now with about her grandchildren. Never had a crossword, just great story. So we used to stay at the Raleigh Hilton.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a bar called the Hilton Underground, right? So this guy walked up to me and said, "God damn, we were talking about 10 girls packed." So I used to always say on TV, I used to go, whatever hotel we were going to be in. 18 to 28, no boyfriends, no husbands.
Yeah.
Come and see the nature boy. I just would tell them where we were. and then
Yeah, what'd your wife think of that?
But same thing he brought about me not wearing my wedding ring. Why do you wear a ring? I said, "God, that's not my gimmick, honey. Please, dude. Why is telling where we were staying?" I said, "They give us a deal on the hotel room. What do you think? I mean, you actually think anybody shows up? Boring." It's just packed.
Meanwhile,
The guy goes to me, can the guy get laid here? I said, "Can the guy get laid? But I'll get you laid out here in no staircase. Let me buy you a drink with my wife's private eye." I introduced him to all the guys. Hey, this guy's a cool guy. I don't know if I got him laid or not. Hey, listen, I was so good. I used to get the midget wrestler laid. That's hard. That's hard.
Really?
Cowboy Lang. Give me laid, Dave. Give me laid. Give me laid. I say, "You some bitch, it's hard to get you laid." Only a few women that do these.
Yeah, what kind of women would usually go for that little fella, huh?
I can call one right now. I can call it. She runs the Speedway Club in Charlotte now.
Oh, Lord.
Give me laid. The officers called me and said, "The midgets are in town." I said, "Who, Lang?" They're Lang and old Tokyo. They want to ride with you. It's like, be my Eldorado. So we're out on the road. Like, "Give me laid. Give me laid. Give me laid, boy. Give me laid. Give me laid."
Man, so you like hooking your buddies up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hard getting that. Tokyo was impossible to get laid, but
Really?
yeah.
So in Tokyo, it was hard to get it was hard to get a little person laid.
Yeah, but Cowboy Lang had a pretty good hang on, so I could sell that to the girl.
He had that wand on
yeah,
him, huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God, boy.
Yeah.
I'd hate that. I mean, it'd be so hard. I mean, that would be just to, you know, that's like a damn kettlebell.
Something like that.
I mean, if you even have half a pound of wiener on a little person, that's fucking.
Yeah, it looks a lot bigger on a little guy.
Oh, yeah, dude. And especially if you put the right makeup on the sides of it, dude. Because I'll put makeup on mine. I'll make it look, you know. You want it the lights hit it the right way, bro.
Okay, lighting's everything.
When was the first time you got laid? Do you remember it?
15.
Wow.
Yeah. It was 14. I mean, 14 or 15. I had just got my WSI, and I was a
What is a WSI?
water safety instructor. I was a lifeguard at a I got my lifeguard and thing. I must. Yeah, I think I just turned 15. So I got my WSI. So I was a lifeguard. My parents lived in the colony apartments. So they're waiting for a new home to be built for 2 years. So summertime job, like clean the pool, lifeguard, do swimming instructions, talk to the mothers.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
God, boy.
The travel.
Yeah.
The lonely mothers. Their husbands on the road.
You were working both sides of the net there, man.
Yeah. Here you go.
And you met a girl?
You did a crawl. Mama, don't let your baby grow up to be a little nature boy.
I want to let you know that Gray Block Pizza, you know, they were the first sponsor of this podcast. And the owner moved on. He folded up his dough and he moved to Oregon. And he started a business called Blue Cube Baths. And they are ice plunges. They are cold plunges. And man, they just put you right back into the cradle of civilization, baby. They make you feel alive, son. They'll make a dang eagle land on your tongue. Just the virility you feel being in there. They're really, really wonderful. BlueCubeBaths.com. You can check them out. I'm very fortunate to receive one as a gift from them. And I just can't recommend them enough. And I just wanted to let you know how they associate to the podcast. And if you're interested in an ice bath or in a cold plunge, Blue Cube Baths is where to go.
Yeah, it was a fun job. But
So you met a lady there?
Flight attendants. I met flight attendants there. To this day, I'm not a beta. I was seeing the flight attendant for Northwest Airlines who was dating the head of the beta house at the University of Minnesota. So when they rushed me, it's like 5 years later, the guy he never got over it. Yeah.
He was jealous?
I guess. I was 15 and she was, what, 23?
Dang, that's a win, bro.
Oh, I used to be sitting there. I'd talk to her mom and dad in the apartment, and she would say, Rick, come to the door. Come up to the stairway so I can show you something. And I'd walk over the stair, and she was standing there completely naked in high heels. Going like this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Tips was just so nice back then, weren't they?
Everything.
Oh, God.
God, I'd never seen her like that in my life. Even in the magazine.
Nothing like a real tit.
Yeah. You're an adult woman. My God. I blew coal over a car, which took me 10 hours.
You what?
I blew coal over her car, which is that old fashioned deal over it. It's 10 hours, sweating like a son of a bitch, 120 degrees. That's how much I like that stuff. She had a 442.
And that's the first one you ever made love to?
No. It was the first one I made love to was, I didn't know how to make love.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, who knows? But the validity of the fact is I could recover in 6 seconds. So, wow. Okay, I'm ready.
Wow, really?
Oh, when you're young like that, like a human squirt gun.
I never had that. I would get counted out of the ring all the time. I mean, I would get, yeah. Oh. And there's nothing sadder, I'll tell you this, from somebody, you don't have this experience, but I'll tell you there's nothing sadder when the girl's like, you want to go again? You're like, I want to. You know what I'm saying? But we're not.
Yeah.
And then you have to sit there and do something, or you got to fucking go get a lemonade or something.
Yeah. I haven't experienced that.
You don't want to, really?
Yeah, I have. But next situation, I just go like, I'm tired.
But then the worst part is just like,
I never say I can't. You never tell a woman the truth. No, Jesus. And then you start telling her the truth. Then you got to be honest with yourself, and that's hard to do. Oh, just they can put the hottest light on me and ask me 1,000 times, and I am guilty of doing it. I still won't. Wow! I told the judge 5 times, Judge, I did not do that. We have you on film. That's not me. It looks just like you. That's not me. The judge said, I'm going to hold you in contempt. I said, well, I'm not going to admit it's me. What do you call it? Plead the fifth?
I'm going to remember that.
When you start telling them the truth, boy, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
But living with
women like that game. They want you to. They want to be as clever as we are, but they're not.
So women like the game, huh? You got to remember that. That's a lot of the
I'm going to tell you something right now. Women love cowboys. Ladies love outlaws. Like little baby loves straight outlaws. You know that? Yeah. For every good woman, there's 2 outlaws. For every outlaw, there's 20 women.
Yeah.
Even if they're shooting blanks.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
If they make the noise. Boom,
Oh man, dude. Yeah, that's crazy. God. Yeah, dude. There's been some times on the road. It's like, yeah, there's sometimes, like, I think there could be a woman that could come up to me right now and be like, "Do you remember this?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, you know what I do about that."
Yeah. First of all, they don't, a lot of them don't know the name. I have no idea what you're talking about. It was me in 1982. I said, "Who?" You know why? I mean, hello. I want to move her out of line. She's blocking traffic here. She's claiming she knows me. It's impossible. Boy, I think I've got it cold.
Have you had some ladies that came back? That
oh,
back
hell
up?
yeah. My God. That happened at least once a month. Different cities around the country. Remember me? No.
And how old are they?
Well, I'm 74. Some of them are, oh my God. And I'm probably, like my friend and I said, deep. He said, everybody your age is dead. Somebody's sick by the There's no way that you and I, the Marriott on West Shore, not a chance. You're mistaken identity.
You got the wrong guy.
My name is Fred Phillips, not Ric Flair. Did you watch my biography?
Yeah. Man.
Jim Dandy.
Was it you worked? I know you worked on the road. Who was fun to travel with on the road? Like when you guys were in the car cruising. Who was?
Oh, me, Arn, Tony, and Barry, the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. JJ, yeah.
And that was during 4 Horsemen days.
The best.
Wow. Man. How much fun must that have been? You guys, and would y'all all ride in the same car?
Yeah.
What kind of car would you get?
We were all driving Cadillacs, and all of a sudden the Mercedes thing hit, and I bought it. But I started buying Mercedes. I never changed. I bought a Rolls Royce one time, but